Thank you for having me.
I want to bring in now Congressman Steve Cohen, a Tennessee Democrat who is also a member of the Judiciary Committee. Thank you so much. Listen, I want to get your reaction to what you just heard from your Republican colleague. I mean, do Democrats need to reconsider further investigations or be more judicious about what they're investigating when it comes to this president?
No, I think we need to continue, and the main thing we need is we need the full Mueller report. You know, the Mueller report, which was really the Barr analysis, the Mueller report would give us what he had on conspiracy, which might not have reached guilt beyond a reasonable doubt in the minds of Mr. Mueller, and apparently it didn't, but it might still show evidence of conspiracy or areas we could go to in investigations. But the main thing is obstruction of justice. And you know, he said that it did not exonerate the president. I'd like to see what proof he had, and I'd like to know from Mr. Barr why he determined that it was not obstruction of justice. You know, he's given a very unusual and limited opinion that the president really can not be convicted of obstruction of justice because he's the president and he can do what he wants to do unless he suborns perjury.
Okay, so to what end, though, when you have, to what end for all of this?
Well, the end is that we have to do oversight and we have to see if our laws need to be changed to protect our country from another foreign interference in our election. It was shown, and Mr. Mueller mentioned it in his report, that the Russians did interfere with our election and attempted to change the outcome. You know, I saw President Trump today go, there are some evil, evil people who have done some bad, bad things to our country. Yeah, the Russians. And he hasn't been concerned about that. In fact, he's been defending Vladimir Putin and saying Putin said he didn't do it. I don't see any reason why he did. He's defended Vladimir Putin. He's not supported his intelligence officials who said the Russians interfered with our elections. That's what we need to see, how the Russians did it, what they did, change laws if necessary to try to be more effective in ferreting out in foreign invaders to our election process and protect it. And there may be other laws we need to see that might need to be changed. We need comprehensive oversight.
Do you think that's in the report? I mean, in the letter it lays out, it talked about how a couple of instances how Russia interfered in the election. Do you think from this report, which was essentially, it did mention that, but it was essentially about a coordination and conspiracy, that you're going to gain that information?
Well, I suspect it was a counterintelligence investigation. And through that, you might pick up a lot of ways in which the Russians were able to get their information, who they got it from, and what they did to plant it in American social media. Mm-hmm. And some of that may be known and some of it may not. But the people paid for the Mueller report. The people need to see it, and the Congress needs to see it. Mm-hmm. Because we don't know what's in there and what Mueller said. All we know is what Bob Barr said, and we know Bob Barr was hired by Donald Trump to be his Roy Cohn. Okay. And to be his Roy Cohn means his bully, his bulldog. I have
a short time left here, but the president's attorney, Jay Sekulow, says that he would oppose any move to make the president's written answers to Mueller public. What steps will Congress take to make this and the entire report public? Do you want all of it to be public?
Well, I know that there's certain parts of it might be, and not much of it, but some of it might have sources and methods, I don't know, in the counterintelligence portion. And obviously we wouldn't want any of that to become public. There is grand jury testimony, but we believe that's easily obtainable. It has to go through a court, but we think that's certainly obtainable, and the judge would allow us to see that material. I don't think it's going to be difficult for us to see most all of it. And executive privilege, they're going to exert as much executive privilege as possible because they don't want us to see it either. You know, Giuliani said it was better than they expected. Giuliani said they had a report to counter the report of the special counsel because they expected something really bad to come out. They know what happened. They're the best evidence. Mm. They know what they did. And when they know what they did, thought it was going to be worse, and that they had a report of their own to counter the special counsel's report that they thought was going to be damaging, then we know there is something there.
Congressman, thank you very much.